What's up guys, it's your boy Thomas here and I'm bringing you back another video today. Today's video is going to be a Q&A from my followers as well as from my Discord server where you guys have reached out to me and asked me questions and I'm going to answer them as best as I possibly can. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first question here I have from Zach. How can you tell if a wheel will look good on our car before purchasing it? And that's honestly a great question because as every car guy, when they look for wheels, you want to know if they're going to look good on your car. The best thing to do, at least that I do, for instance, is I Photoshop the wheels onto my car. And it gives me a rough idea of what it's going to look like. And I know not everyone has access to do Photoshop, to do the wheels and all this and that. But Fitment Industries, if you go to fitmentindustries.com, they have a wide variety of wheels on certain cars, tires, and all this and that to get you the best setup that you possibly can get, as well as Google. If you literally Google the wheels that you're looking for with the name of your car, you're more than likely going to find at least one picture of what it's going to look like. So it's all about just kind of using your resources that you have available to you and just making the best of what you can do with it. Lennon asks, what made you want to start TikTok? That's a tough one. Honestly, boredom. I actually truthfully had zero reasons to ever start a TikTok. I did it because I was like, what's the worst that can happen? And on top of that, scrolling through the For You page, I could see some pretty cool cars. Alex Wittich actually being one of them. You'll probably see him somewhere on the background. I don't know. I'm trying to learn my green screen. But seeing Alex Wittich with his cambered out bag TDI, I was like, cool, that's awesome. I could probably post videos in my car and they might do well. There at the beginning though, with me doing TikTok, I did not post any car stuff. I tried to do transitions and it was very cringy. I was on Cringe Talk basically. But then I was like, wait a second, I have a bagged car. Why don't I just do that and make videos on that? And from there, posting my car was just kind of the best option. Also, quarantine, that kind of helped a lot because what else was I supposed to do besides play video games? Mike here asked me, would you suggest bagging your car? Yes. Bagging a car is always going to be a top thing for me. I prefer bags over coilovers. That is just because of practicality. You get the form of a car and you get the function of a car. So you get the form of looking low and being low, but at the same time, you also get the functionality of it, of being almost a stock ride height car. Well, realistically, you can lower your car and make it look a little bit lowered while you drive, but you can just realistically do anything you want with it. I don't hate on coilovers, just where I'm at in Maryland. It just makes more sense to me to bag a car because of practicality, of the roads being crap, traveling a whole lot, and everything like that. This next question is going to be real quick and easy. What is a good truck? Second gen Cummins with a 12 valve in it. You'll be golden for the rest of your life with that truck. Mark 6 Jake, he asks, what's my next car? I really don't have an answer for that one. I'm hoping that my next car will be a daily more than anything, just that way I can preserve the TDI a little bit better and actually get that as a full-on show car instead of a daily driven show car, which it doesn't look that bad right now, but I know every flaw to it that I want to make look better. And I know that I can make it look so much better than what it actually is right now. I hope I don't butcher this name. Nolliman? Nollyman? Nolly. We're going to go with Nolliman. What is a good first car? A first car for anyone should be a car that can get you from point A to point B, get you to school, get you to work, see friends, see family, significant others. And if a car has 4 wheels, an engine, and a transmission, then that is going to be the absolute perfect car for you. Now, to narrow that down, I would suggest like a Camry, a Corolla, a Civic, RSX if you're looking for like a sportier type car, an Integra, even a Jeep Wrangler. Those get a little pricey because Jeep Wranglers are very, they keep their value. But it's a car that you shouldn't really modify until you have the funds or a second vehicle to start modifying it. I just think that it should be a daily driver that can get you from point A to point B safely with zero problems. So now I'm going to move on to the questions that I asked you guys from TikTok. James2203, how hard was it to install the bags? Also, how do you afford to build it? How hard was it to install the bags? Honestly, Pretty simple. I got my car done in a complete weekend, from starting on Friday night and finishing Sunday afternoon. And prior to this, I didn't really have much of car knowledge of how to actually work on a car, do suspension or anything like that. But Airlift Performance, they gave me a very good instruction, and YouTube helped. Some of my friends helped, and they honestly came in clutch with all of that. So it was honestly a fairly easy install to run all the lines, to hide everything, make sure everything looked perfect and as good as it possibly could. It just takes a lot of time to narrow it down, to get everything to look smoothly and as cleanly as possible. And also, how do I afford to build it? You just got to save up money, man. That's the best option, is just set a goal for yourself and set yourself up for, this is what I'm going to save up for, this is what I'm going to put money aside for, and when I have the funds to not put me in debt but also be able to buy something fun, take that fun money and put it towards bags. Felix.Vang asked, what is my dream car? I have two of them, actually. Well, sort of, kind of three. I've always wanted a TDI Volkswagen. I wanted a Mark IV more than anything, but I found a Mark VI that fit the bill, that was perfect in every sense, so I went ahead and got that. So that is my daily dream, realistic car. Now, my other two cars are a 2012 Audi A4 Avant, as well as a 1990 Unos Cosmo. Now, I believe the Unos Cosmo, not many people know what it is. The front end looks like a Skyline, the side profile looks like a 240SX, and the rear end looks like a Lincoln. It's right-hand drive, and it comes with a 13V motor, and I think it's just an absolute crazy car that Mazda could have ever have made. And the Avant I chose because back in high school, I had a friend, Brooks. His mom had a Audi A4 Avant, and I just fell in love with the car. I just think it looked so beautiful, and I just wanted one, and ever since I got to ride in it one time, I've always wanted one. DMarts21 asks, is a 350Z a really good first car? Honestly, 350Zs aren't that bad of a first car. They're very sporty, they're quick. For the most part, they're pretty reliable as long as you don't have the DE motor in it, because I know the DE motors have a lot of oil problems and all this and that. But I do have a friend that does have a DE motor, and he didn't have any of those problems. But I do believe a 350Z is a very good first car because it's very easy to work on. You can actually learn about the car more if you start working on it. And overall, it's a car guy's quote-unquote dream first car because it's very easy to learn on. This is a great question. Ryan Supra asks, why do you think there's so much hate in the car community? A bunch of people are snowflakes. Some people take criticism as hate when in reality it's just not someone's taste. And I think it gets a lot of misconception is that when someone says, no, I don't like that build, or, you know, they pick a part of the build, it's just because some people just don't like that. Like, there's a lot of track guys that don't like slammed cars on their faces. And they'll say they hate them because that's just not their style. They like the functionality and the fastness of track cars. Whereas the roles could be reversed, where stance guys don't like track cars because they're not low enough. So it's just a whole game of, hey, this is what I like, this is what I prefer, and people take that to heart and take that as hate sometimes. Alright, so now we're going to go into quick fire questions where I'm not going to really explain a whole lot. I'm just going to hit them one right after another. How reliable is air suspension and how much space does it take up? It's actually pretty reliable. It's just as reliable as any other car. And how much space does it actually take up? It only takes up a part of my trunk a little bit. It's very smooth. There's not a whole... I could still fit stuff in the back. Luffy the Wolf, does your car sit on its frame? Yes, the front end of my frame does sit on the ground when I air out. Lil Newbie, what is your thoughts on the Silvia S13? Honestly, it's my favorite Silvia at all. It's better than the S14 and S15 in my opinion. Diddy Kong 420, what is my dream 5-car garage? 2nd gen 12-valve Cummins, Mark 6 TDI, 2012 Audi A4 Avant, 1990 Unos Cosmo, and for the last one, a Mark 4 TDI. Jake Isel 05, why do people hate on automatics? Because it's a big dick energy kind of thing that manual drivers think they're more exquisite and think they're the best in the game because they own a manual car. David Hibbert 16, how much horsepower you got? Like 200 horsepower, I'm slow as hell. King Jake 717, what got you into cars? My buddy MJ did. He owned an RX-7 FC way back when, and I always thought it was a shitbox until he took me for a ride in it and he started hanging around me more, and next thing you know, I fell in love with cars, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am today. Jeep Life 178, why don't you have 4-wheel drive? That's because my car is front-wheel drive. Kiro 440i, are bags reliable? Yes. Joshua Smith, if you have siblings, are any of your siblings into cars as much as you? Honestly, no one in my family is really into cars. I have 2 sisters, they're both married, none of them are into cars, and I'm the only one in my entire family that actually has a passion for cars. Jack Me Off 69, would you recommend a Golf TDI or someone that's looking to buy one, or anything you dislike on the TDI? Would I recommend a TDI? Yes, they're one of the most reliable Volkswagens to ever be made. They're honestly bulletproof, the engines, and they're just great cars. IS Jamira, why do Miatas cost 5K plus? Because every little kid now wants one because everyone puts them on a pedestal and thinks they're the best cars in the world. Don't get me wrong, Miatas are great, but they're not that great. This is coming from an ex-Miata owner. Sean Burgess, if you did not choose photography and car tinting and wrapping for a profession, what other profession did you think about pursuing? Honestly, growing up, I kind of wanted to be a cop, but that never really happened, and I got a passion into cars and photography, and I was like, yo, what if I just kind of made this like a job now? And now here we are, years and years later, where being a cop would be cool, don't get me wrong, but I'd rather have a job working into something that I have a strong, deep passion for, whereas police force, I don't really have a strong, deep passion for that. That 359-year-old, how tall are you? I'm 6'2". Thomas Rothwell 13, favorite Mazda? Mazda 3 hatchback, first gen. GoGo SM1, is there hate for your car? A lot of people hate on my car because they'll just say, oh, it's a bagged Volkswagen, so original. I'm used to it. I don't care. I like my car. Oh, this is a good one. This one's neat. I didn't expect this question. Midnight Club Lifestyle, if you could, would you change from diesel to pump and put a different engine in it? I'll go out on a limb and say yes, I would. I would honestly put a W12 Volkswagen engine in it. And we're going to end off with this question. I think it's a solid question to end off on. C. Ransley, what gen Golf has the best body style, do I think? Honestly, Mark IV and a Mark II. But with that being said, guys, that's going to end my Q&A. Hopefully I answered a lot of questions that people have been wanting to know. Hopefully you guys like the new green screen behind me. Not like you guys can actually see the green part, but hey, it is what it is. And if you guys haven't yet, be sure to follow the social medias. I'm trying to grow here on YouTube as well. So if you like this video, be sure to check out all my older ones. And with that being said, y'all, hey, doses.